all right, and then get some depth, develop some depth. And I think we accomplished both of those things unbelievably.
Like Isaiah started off. Isaiah started off at right and went to left. Now back to right for spring game. Where's the tackles?
Again, that's part of it. That's part of the deal. It's not as much as Isaiah doing it because he can play both. It's where the two young guys, where Allaby and Thayer comes along, and getting Bowen. Bowen was out. Michael Jordan was out, so those guys weren't in there. So it was. I had some good depth there, but now just providing where the other guy fits because Isaiah can do both. So how does that work and where does that mesh? That's what we went through the whole spring trying to find out. We got a pretty good idea now. So when Bowen comes back and Michael comes back, and we'll be really good at it.
Do you come out of this with Thayer as the left tackle, or is that not set?
I wouldn't say that's set yet, but that's pretty close to being true. Josh Allaby had a tremendous spring. I mean, a tremendous spring. Probably as good as anybody had in his improvement in fundamentals and his improvement of knowledge and becoming an offensive lineman. So he's working at that left tackle spot just like Thayer is. And both of them had great springs.
But your expectation is that Isaiah stays on the right side?
For right now.
And why did that? Because it seemed like at the beginning he was going to be the left tackle. Why did that change? And how did it change?
Again, because of the two young guys. Where's the best fit for those two guys? All right, those two kids coming in. Were they better on the left side? Were they better on the right side? And so we just kind of mix and match to see how they came along. And they came along being better on the left. And Isaiah obviously has got 2,000 reps on the right side, so he's more comfortable there. So it comes down to, and then I like Isaiah working beside Demetrius too. I think that combination is really, really good. Those two guys play well beside each other. They work well together, and the other guy's on the other side. So it just, it was a testing combination, and that's what you want to do. You want to get out and find it out, and we absolutely found out.
How did Isaiah take that? Because he seemed very eager to want to play that left side.
Oh, he is. Isaiah wants to be the best. That's the one thing about him. That's the most beautiful thing about him. He learned that from Jamarco. And he wants to be the best. He doesn't care where he's playing. Coach, I want to be the best. I want to be the best I can possibly be. And here's my weaknesses in the spring. Let's go attack these and get this done. And we did. That's his. And you know what? It's really all their attitudes. They want to play and they want to become great players. That's the bottom line. And again, that comes down from Pat, from Jamarco, from Billy. That attitude of Pat and Billy playing multiple positions. Our guys have no problem playing multiple positions, and that's how it should be.
Working on the assumption that Brandon and Michael will be healthy. Do you know who your five would be if you played tomorrow?
Nope. Okay. Be pretty good, though.
You know your center, Greg?
I don't. That battle's continuous. Both those guys are playing well. Josh Myers, really, the last 2 weeks was outstanding. Struggled the first two, but the last 2 weeks, including in the spring game, he was outstanding. And Brady's been steady. So those two guys are going to go right in through the summer, right into camp, battling it out for that spot.
Is there any negative to not knowing this? I mean, we hear about that position being right up there with quarterback for Urban Meyer. Is there any uncertainty for you that you don't know that?
No.
That you take that battle into training camp?
Not at all. Absolutely not. There's no concern about that because I see how those kids are progressing and I see how they're improving. And I know the one thing to get the best out of guys is competition. If you're the guy, I'm complacent now, I'm the guy. No, you're not the guy. You're not the guy. You're going to strive and grind and work every single day to solidify that position. And the guy that goes in is going to be really good.
I would have a lot of positive things to say about it.
I think his understanding. I think one thing is his snap consistency got better. We grade that every day on a chart so they know he was all over the place because he was trying to snap the ball and make all the blocks that we do. So that was new for him for the first time. And so I think towards the end he got consistent with snapping the ball. He was on target with those kind of things. And now he understands what he has to do. He understands all the pressure of making the calls, setting the fronts. And so the more and more he went on, he got 600 and some reps. That's outstanding. And the fact that he got through it and the spring game was his best outing, that's exactly what we were hoping to accomplish, and we did.
Urban had a lot of positive things to say about Malcolm Pridgeon. Where does he fit into all of this?
I'm telling you again, that's what spring was about. And Malcolm's learning curve was a little bit slower. And now he, again, with Michael being out, he got thrown in there. He again had 600 some reps. And that repetition and that work, what it does with Malcolm, a guy that hasn't played, it develops some confidence and consistency. And you can see him when he walks out here now. I mean, there's no joke. He's a big, powerful man. So when you get that guy going on the right track and he has confidence in doing what he's doing, which he does now after those reps, I couldn't be more excited about him. That's going to be a battle there, too, to find a place for that guy to play.
Do you feel like you have to have a set five that plays every play, or could you see rotating some of these guys above the depth you have?
You really want to be able to rotate guys if you can. Now, the other thing about offensive line play, as you say that, is you have to get a cohesive unit working together too. I don't want to just pull guys out for the sake of pulling them out, but the ability to have depth when if a guy gets a break, when a guy gets dinged, which happens just about every game. So to put a guy in there and know you're not going to drop off a level of play, that's outstanding. That's the confidence, and it gives those younger guys who may not be the starter, and obviously you can only start 5. So some of these guys that are really good aren't going to start. But if they have a role to go in there and play, and they're needed at a certain time, that keeps the depth, that develops the cohesiveness. That's all the things that you want.
Hey, Greg, during Thayer Munford, couple more questions. You were a very integral part of that.
Yep.
And I know that you went to bat for him.
Yep.
And I know that he has come from a past that, has had violence and certain things that. What was it about him in that entire recruitment that made you feel like you needed to go to bat for him? And how do you analyze and how do you know in your head that this guy's worth it?
Well, number one, you're right. He's had a rough life. And when Nate left LaSalle High School in Cincinnati, where I first met him, when Nate left, a lot of things went bad for him. And he needed someone to believe in him. I saw a talent. He was 363 pounds now. When you look at him, people thought, oh, he's too fat, he's too this. But I saw a kid that just needed someone to believe in him, and he was so talented. When you just watched him move, and then you met the kid, he was hungry for someone to believe in him, someone to teach him, someone to say, you can do this, instead of you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't. That's what he was told. And so I saw that in him early, and then when Nate took him up there and gave him something to believe in up there, you could see what the kid could do if someone had belief in him. And I knew how hungry he was because all he wanted was a chance. And a lot of people gave up on it because they didn't want to deal with all those kind of things. That kid needed somebody to believe in him, and now he's excelling. And now look at him now. What I see in him, he's athletic, he's powerful. When people say, oh, he's not going to, he picks things up so fast, it's unbelievable. So all those things now, what I saw, are coming to fruition, and the kid's just excelling.
When he's coming from a neighborhood that has gun violence in it,
Sorry.
and somebody's being shot
Yep.
in his front yard,
Yep.
things like that, how do you know as a coach whether or not you want to be involved with somebody like that? And it's not fair to generalize, but you
Oh
see
no,
what I'm saying.
I see. I know exactly where you're going, and that's recruiting. That's getting to know the high school coach. That's getting to know the guys in the neighborhood. That's getting to know those people and say, hey, this kid's involved in that or he's not involved in that. That's part of recruiting. We're doing your homework and going down there and talking to everyone around, the teachers. I mean, I talked to his teachers. I talked to everybody that's been around that kid, met his mom, his aunt. He was one of those kids that wanted to get out and get away from that. That's why he needed a chance so badly. But you're exactly right. You have to do those things in recruiting so you don't bring a kid like that into the program.
Hey, Greg, have you ever seen a position battle change over a summer?
yeah.
Barring a situation where
Yes.
there was an injury or like they did something?
Absolutely.
Really?
Absolutely. There's no doubt. Because I'll tell you, like I said, at the end of spring, some of these young guys who haven't had as many reps as the older guys before, you see leaps and bounds in what they're doing. So over the summer, then 30 more practices, oh yeah, they can catch fire and all of a sudden now have confidence in themselves. When you don't know what you're doing, or you don't have a good technique down or a fundamental base of what you're doing, you look tentative as an offensive lineman. Oh, he's terrible. Oh, he's soft. No, he's not. He doesn't know what he's doing. And when you find out what you're doing and you start doing it with a little bit of confidence, you grow in leaps and bounds really quickly. And that's what happened. Wyatt Davis, same way. Thayer Munford, same way. Josh Myers, same way. Gavin Cupp, same way. Malcolm Pridgeon, now he got reps. He wasn't behind, same way. So those things can happen. And when they get that confidence, the jumps come in big jumps. So yeah, I have seen that.
You mentioned
One more time, Coach, Brady's progressing. That's a battle, you said?
Oh yeah, I said it's a battle. Brady did really well this spring. Again, same thing. His consistency. He got more consistent. I needed him to do some certain things, and I still need to see him do some certain things based on what we do in our offense with the center position. So he has to grow in some of the things that we're working on this summer, and being a powerful run blocker is one of them. And so that's where he knows, and we can come into the summer and do those things and say, here's coming out of spring, here are the 3 things, A, B, and C. We got to get these done before fall camp. And so each guy has that in his repertoire. And so that's what we're working on to make those leaps and bounds. But Brady had a good solid spring, and it's going to be a battle when the fall comes. There's no doubt.